Gerald R. Ford, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute.
By the time Gerald Ford assumes the presidency in August of 1974, U.S. aid to South Vietnam has been cut by 75% since its height a year earlier. For the ARVN, who've depended upon American money and military supplies since 1954, the cutbacks have a devastating effect. Planes sit idle on runways, unable to take off because of lack of fuel. Artillery pieces that had once been allocated 100 rounds per day are rationed to only 10. But while the ARVN's supplies are dwindling, the North Vietnamese are rebuilding their military strength. On March 10th, 1975, just over 2 years after the Paris Peace Agreement was signed, hopes for an independent South Vietnam come crumbling down. The North Vietnamese launched their largest and most ambitious offensive yet into the South. As ARVN units began to falter, hundreds of thousands of South Vietnamese civilians run for their lives. On April 21st, President Thieu resigns. 4 days later, NVA forces reach the outskirts of Saigon. On April 29th, as Saigon crumbles, a small contingent of U.S. State Department, CIA workers, and Marines who remained in Vietnam begin a hasty and desperate evacuation of South Vietnamese civilians and government employees who had worked with the United States. Tens of thousands of people scramble onto U.S. ships waiting offshore. As they run out of space for people, millions of dollars of military equipment is dumped into the ocean. On April 30th, just before 8 a.m., the last American chopper to leave Saigon lifts off from the roof of the embassy. Less than 4 hours later, North Vietnamese tanks crash through the gates of the presidential palace. At 4 o'clock, a live radio broadcast announces Saigon is officially renamed Ho Chi Minh City.
We're all gathered in the bureau, standing over the teletype when it starts ringing flashes. Saigon has fallen.
Saigon has fallen. The presidential palace is taken. It was over. It was over.